Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today, August 3rd, 2021. The man they call Meathead, the lovely Linda K. Linda K, how is your third day of August doing?
It's going great so far. I'm enjoying the sunshine, and it's starting to heat up a bit again in
Did I
Milwaukee.
say October 3rd or August 3rd?
I know I heard August.
Okay. I don't know why I mentally thought October. Maybe I was thinking Bray Wyatt and, Freak Show or Horror Show, pay-per-view or Hell in a Cell or
Yes,
Swampland.
Halloween Havoc.
Halloween Havoc. There we go. Halloween Havoc was actually okay. That was an NXT show. But no, you're right. It's starting to warm up again. I'm looking at my air conditioner and going, I might have to turn you back on again. I can't be having it that hot in here. You know that breeze I talked about yesterday where it gets you right in the... We got to have that breeze.
Yes, you do.
Got to have that breeze. All right. Well, you know what's very cool as well, speaking of breezes, is what we get from Collar and Elbow. Tell us.
Yes, and you can also look cool by wearing collar and elbow apparel. Make sure to go to collarandelbowbrand.com. See the latest and greatest in wrestling street fashions. Take advantage of the sales and an additional 10% off your order by using promo code Linda K. That's LINDAKAY. Save a little money. And
a little scratch.
Hot fashions.
Yeah, save a little scratch, a little Skrilla, if you will.
Yes.
A little wampum. Yeah, and I took a look. My Collar and Elbow stuff's coming in this week. I got more Good Brothers, Buenos Hermanos on the way. This time it's just BRTHR, brother. I never thought I'd be so big into the Good Brothers clothing line. I mean, who would have thought it, right?
Brother me softly.
Brother me softly. Yes. All right. We've got some stuff we want to talk about before we get to Raw from last night. First off, I wondered this. We're going to talk a little Bray Wyatt here for a second. Everybody's still kind of in shock that Bray Wyatt was let go. It wasn't a health thing. It was a budgetary cut. Vince McMahon has been said to have given more control over to Khan. Is it Tony Khan? What's his name? First name in WWE.
The other Khan.
The other Khan. The Wrath of Khan. Well, the Wrath of Khan continues financially in WWE as Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, was released. There was some issues also with JoJo Offerman being cut loose earlier in the year as well. These little things, they kind of creep up. Like maybe the issue that they had when they had Aleister Black coming back. I mean, he was still upset about Zelina Vega. And then Zelina Vega shows up, and boom, Aleister's gone. This stuff, even though they might not happen next to each other, day to day next to each other, this stuff does remain, and it kind of sets a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how many cross-promotional couples there are, and just a lot that's been in the news as of late with cuts and then new signings and resurgences, new championships.
I understand the going back and getting stars like Goldberg. I mean, for example, our local Milwaukee Brewers went back 8 years and got our closer from 8 years ago. Literally, that just happened for $1.
Axford.
John Axford, the mustachioed John Axford.
Yeah. I mean, things can happen on the flip of a switch, and we're seeing that as of late, and some of these rather shocking.
Yeah, this business is all over the place right now. It's just fun to watch. So let's talk about something else that happened. Somebody popped up over the weekend on Impact Wrestling. He is the artist formerly known as Aiden English, debuting in Impact Wrestling. It was impacting. Yeah. I love seeing. I thought he was a talented worker. And for those that aren't in the know, he was related to the Guerrero family. I believe it's Eddie's daughter who he's married to, if I'm not mistaken.
There's some connection.
I might have that off a little bit, but it's something like that. It might be a cousin, whatever. Yeah. But Aiden English is in the Guerrero family.
Yes, and it's great to see him back on our wrestling TVs, and great to have him back. Very entertaining, always has been, and really got that big pop with the whole thing with Russo. So I'm hoping you can get a huge resurgence, for the new in English over in Impact as well.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Glad to see him back. Again, I thought he was an amazing talent. Here's a weird one. I know we're kind of digging deep, but I want to get these out there. Do you know that the WrestleMania Backlash theme of zombies was touted to the stockholders as one of the biggest and best business decisions they made all year?
Hmm.
I can understand it, right? Creatively, I thought it was dumb, but they got paid about $1 million actually from the studio
Yeah,
to
okay.
promote that movie.
Right. And
So
that
that makes
would
sense
then,
now, right?
yeah, that would then show these potential stockholders just how easily, I have to say easily, because we don't know how they obtained that deal, but how widespread, if you will, the money, the potential coming in could
Sure.
be
Their
just by
reach could
partnering up.
be. Yeah, their
Right.
unique touches. It's Nick Khan, by the way. That's the name we were thinking of earlier. Nick
Nick.
Khan.
Yes.
Not Raph, Nick Khan. So, but yeah, they got a 7-figure payday, over $1 million to promote Army of the Dead, and had Batista, you know, read in
Mm-hmm.
the opening promo and the video package that happened. So, maybe it's not such a bad business move at all.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Cena a huge figure with the WWE, but kind of a similar path, with his return and getting his movies out, plugged out there like that as well. Maybe we'll have some Fast and Furious cars show up at a pay-per-view.
Possibly. I've got one more thing I want to talk about here. Paige from the WWE, still rehabbing, still training. There's a chance she may come back to wrestling. I mean, we thought Daniel Bryan, we thought Edge, we thought Shawn Michaels. All of those talents were done wrestling. There's a chance they may be coming back, and Paige may be the next one.
That's tremendous. I haven't heard her name out there too much recently, so this is great news to hear. She still has so much to give to the wrestling world, and I've always loved her gimmick, her look, her style.
She's unique, that's for sure.
Yes, yes. So hopefully all does go well, and her journey and trying to get back into the ring.
Let's take a journey to talking about Raw from last night. I've got good news and bad news. Okay, I enjoyed Raw. I actually did. I enjoyed Raw. I still have some bones to pick. Okay.
Okay, carry on.
Yep. All right. So let's talk about the show. We are live from Chicago, and Chicago, always a hot city. The Allstate Arena in Chicago, formerly the Rosemont Horizon, amazing building to watch wrestling. Just smells like an armpit, but an amazing building nonetheless. Linda, how many times have you been down to Allstate?
Numerous times for WWE and for several concerts. And I've seen numerous Monday Night Raws at the Allstate Arena, but I will say one of my favorite Metallica shows ever is Metallica in the Round at the
Ooh,
Allstate Arena as well.
I feel like I watched Metallica in around. I mean, I've seen a multiple Metallica shows. My favorite Metallica show had to have been the one at the amphitheater. That's when I think it was Reload was going off, and Fuel, Fuel, Give Me Fire, Give Me That, which I desire. We're out on the grass.
Ooh, yeah.
The entire amphitheater top had pyro on it. Oh, that was something else. All right, but we digress, right? Chicago, hot city for wrestling. We're going to see that coming up with AEW as well. The show opens up with MVP and the almighty Bobby Lashley. Here's my bone to pick. I know what they're trying to do with Goldberg, trying to make it seem like Goldberg's this huge fan-friendly person. We got people back in the arena, folks. You keep turning up the Goldberg chants and you keep panning the crowd, and I don't see really everybody doing the Goldberg thing. It looks corny as hell.
Yeah, I think we could have gotten a reintroduction to some of the newer fans or some of the more mainstream fans of the current WWE product who may not be as familiar with Goldberg from his WCW days and his WWE the most recent one
No,
even.
even the last
Yeah.
WWE run where he beat Owens in Milwaukee.
Yes. And I just, with the amount of time on Raw and what they have been doing a nice job recently on both Raw and SmackDown is, reliving the history, showing still shots, showing videos, just kind of getting a more of an introduction, a little bit of history to who's currently on the screen, or perhaps, the
Yeah.
history of the the two that are feuding on screen at the moment. So I feel that, while his, walk down to the ring is still awesome, I feel that they could have used the whole side grid there to list off some some of his his championship reigns, who his best friend is, as we see with Riddle. Says his best friend is Randy Orton. Just a little something extra. But yeah, I did notice that, I did hear some boos, and while we did hear some loud Goldberg chants, we didn't quite see it as much in the crowd, or not as many fans to zoom in on.
Yeah.
During that face-off.
Exactly. Here's the other thing that really kind of got me was when Goldberg tried the cheap heat and the pop with Chicago, crickets.
Yeah.
We're in Chicago.
Yeah. I think it's just because the majority there just weren't as behind Goldberg as much as the machine may have wanted.
I guess. So, but again, we're getting towards Goldberg and Lashley at SummerSlam. Also,
I will say, though, he did look jacked, and
yeah,
he's bigger than Lashley.
I thought Triple H didn't like guys chewing gum when they came to the ring. Ask Ken Kennedy, Mr. Anderson. But I'm just saying. So it's ironic, too, because that was Mr. Perfect's whole thing, chewing the gum and then spitting it out with his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about his son, who he said he wanted that run so his son could see him wrestle. Holy smokes, the kid's gotten big.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I figured it was his son once they panned over, showing Lashley MVP. Heading to the crowd there. That was cool to see, though, I will say. And that was nice that when Goldberg did come back out to obviously save and support his son. And now, just, anytime you bring in a family member into something, it just adds a little more fuel.
That's how Dominic got into wrestling. Brock Lesnar beat him up a few times.
Yeah.
So I thought it was very, very corny, though. And then I'll kill you. That sounded like a dad being upset that you involved his son, but you also put your son at the corner at ringside. So, I mean, where are we going with that?
Well, he did hurt MVP, so that, gave.
And then MVP was selling throughout the entire night.
Yes,
so.
Even hour or 2 hours later, he was still
like had bowel obstruction at the
end. Maybe that's what it was. Once
he is IBS now due to a spear. The 2-on-1 handicap match, Veer and Shanky taking on Drew McIntyre. I also have a bone to pick with this. I love Drew, but the haha Drew has got to stop. I don't like it. No, he's laughing it up, and he's threatening to kill somebody with his sword.
Right.
So, I mean, the sword is like a gun, right? Meant to kill people.
Yes.
Okay, so he can just wave it at people and point it at people?
He threatened.
Oh, he threatened a lot. He even was going to swing it at him.
Yeah, poor Shanky. Oh.
But I still love Drew. I'm still a member of the team they call Meatheads, but I don't like the angle. And, when they keep saying Drew's going to pull out his sword, me being the child that I am, I expect them to at least throw in one punny joke, but nothing.
I definitely rewound when they said, "Look at the size of Drew's
sword." Look at the size of that sword.
That was Corey Graves, yes. That's the size of Drew's sword. And I was like, oh, okay. I'll take a look.
I was going to say, I can't even say that. You can't even blame me that it's me that's influenced you, Linda. I mean, it's just funny stuff. I mean, you already knew they were going to do that.
Wait till we talk about the dripstick.
Oh, boy. Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley. I didn't, I went back and watched this, and I didn't see where Nia Jax got ripped in the face, but she was wearing half a crimson mask.
Yeah, I did actually go back. I had to do it a couple of times. I'm like, where did this happen? And because there was no blood, and all of a sudden there was, and thought maybe there was some of Rhea's elbows, or maybe she's got those spikes.
They were real stiff for the first 2 minutes, real stiff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then I think it was just a cut by her eye, but it definitely opened up pretty good.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley wins on a roll up. She rolled up Nia Jax. And then Jax is bleeding, obviously, heavily from one side of her face. Baszler stormed out of the ring as Jax looked on, and then Rhea Ripley came back in and put the riptide on her. Rhea Ripley, neither a heel nor a face, because that's not a face move, but she got cheered for it, so she's technically still a face, making her way, showing how aggressive she is, making her way towards SummerSlam.
Yeah, but let's not forget to talk about Shayna Baszler taking her jacket off and the crowd getting into that.
Yeah,
Uh,
because they thought it was go time. We've talked about that
I
for a
thought so
year.
too. I mean, it is the road to SummerSlam. That's, especially with the outcome of the women's tag titles right now with Natty out. I thought this could have been another great lead into a great women's match that could have taken place at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I thought she should just pet her hair, just like that backstage segment from 8 months ago that I won't
Or
share.
that too, yeah. But no, I thought that was a missed opportunity right there. The hot Chicago crowd would have loved it. Loved it.
Mansoor, see what I did there?
Yeah.
Mansoor, not Mansoors, and Mustafa Ali take on Mason T-Bar. I honestly thought they were going to run through Mason T-Bar again and they were just going to be enhancement talent. No, 50-50 booking. Winners of the match, T-Bar and Mace. I don't hate this.
No, I am liking this showcasing of Mason T-Bar that we are getting. Two big guys, and at least the whole retribution thing has been dropped. They still have the face paint, sure. Still have the same names, sure. But we're really getting to see a lot of the athleticism that both men can do. And of course, the huge pop for the hometown boy, Mustafa Ali, Chicago. So that was great for him to take that in. And the whole thing between him and Mansoor. It's Mansoor, I believe. I say Mansoor, but I believe it's Mansoor.
It might be Mansoor, but I'm practicing not saying
That's
Mansoors.
why I still had to pause that. So Mansoor, uh, yeah, great chemistry, and this time instead of coming away with a win with the or unintentional interference, there was
Yeah,
that kick up where Mansoor hit the ropes and Ali
it sounds right the way
took a
you say
drop.
it, actually.
Yeah, say it fast, Mansoor.
Mansoor.
Uh, yeah, so they ended up losing that match, and then Ali, getting one final pop there, and I thought that this was going to be his way to, have a victory in his hometown, but I guess not. But hey, like you said though, I'm liking this. This is a
I
good
enjoy it.
good
Yeah.
tag team interaction we got going on.
Let's talk about the Charlotte Flair promo. She is really good. Like I said, she has her very rare moments where the crowd can get to her, but if she stays focused and doesn't let anybody in, she crushes when she's on the microphone. Crushes. Um, and then we have more women's really TV to watch here as we got Lily and Alexa Bliss taunting Eva Marie with the Lily Lucian. I practiced that too, by the way.
Ah,
The Lily Lucian. Uh, Eva continuing to poke fun at Dewdrop, life before she came along. How long is that going to go on?
I
And are
think
you
that
interested?
um yes and no. I feel that they can move this along a little quicker. I mean, it's been already teased of Dewdrop turning on Eva Marie or just not helping her anymore, I guess,
Right.
I think that this will finally happen at SummerSlam. I think this is going to lead obviously to a match between Eva Marie and Alexa Bliss. Somehow Lily the Doll is going to get involved and somehow it's going to affect Dewdrop negatively. Maybe she takes the bump and finally she'll turn on Eva Marie. And I think this is the payoff that we'll get at SummerSlam. But then the whole Evolution thing and Dewdrop thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think they'll let Dewdrop have a much bigger platform on Raw, give her more speaking opportunities. Because every time she tries to talk, she gets cut off. So that's kind of another thing. I'm waiting for her to just scream at Eva Marie and get
Yeah.
back at her. Yeah.
Not American born either. I believe she's Scottish
I
as
believe
well.
that's where she was. She was trying to say she's from Scotland before she got
Yeah.
cut off last night.
And her name being Piper Piven previously before Dewdrop. We got the confirmation, even though it was out there already, that Natalia's seriously hurt. And if she's undergoing surgery in Birmingham, Alabama, that's usually in the area of Dr. James Andrews. And that's the guy that has to rebuild people. I mean, seriously, if the $1 million or the $6 million man were real, James Andrews would have rebuilt him. I mean, this is the number one guy. So well wishes to Natalia. She's going to be out for a bit.
Yeah. So, they didn't really mention anything more regarding the women's tag titles, on Raw last night. But I mean, it's obviously something that's gonna have to be addressed.
Either she needs to come up with a new partner or she needs to drop him. And I think the perfect tag team would be Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. But that's just me.
So that would mean that Nikki Ash would still keep the title at SummerSlam. I'm just saying.
I don't know. There's all sorts of stuff there. I see before the end of the year Rhea Ripley and Charlotte having to tag up.
Would they
and
be
they can
face or
be dominant.
heels?
Yeah.
Would they be face or heels?
Oh, they would be heels.
Absolutely. I would love that.
Absolutely. All right. Let's talk about Miss TV and Damian Priest. Damian slipped into a little Puerto Rican in there, and it was absolutely hilarious. And John Morrison might have been his best on a microphone in a long time, because the wet man is the best man. Or I mean, he had about 10 of them. They were fantastic.
Absolutely. I mean, you can only say so much about the dripstick, but now you got to get into how he is the America's most wanted, the moistiest superstar in WWE.
And Damian Priest dropped the S word. Did you hear it? Shenanigans.
Yes.
Well, he was having his backstage with Riddle.
Yeah, we need a trademark shenanigans within PWR here. Anywho, yes, I'm sure you were happy to see a little bit of backstage interaction between Riddle and Damian
Riddle and Priest is a good team. Yeah.
Yes, and then
we're building towards the return of Randy Orton, but Riddle and Priest is a good team.
Yes, but I am liking the whole Damian Priest John Morrison bit, like that, just because
it's good.
The two of them in a ring itself. But now we got to see some more verbiage on the mic, which is great because yes, they have history, but now it's more one-on-one between the two of them. And I'm liking it.
So it was going to be a match of Damian Priest versus John Morrison. Sheamus came out. So it ends up being Sheamus and Morrison versus Ricochet and Damian Priest. Winners of the match, Ricochet and Damian Priest. Again, I think really that the Damian Priest-Sheamus match is something I'm looking forward to at SummerSlam.
Yes. And sorry, I got to bring back the dripstick. Miz trying to shoot Priest in the face, but backfired, and toward the end there,
and he squeezed the tip of it too.
Yeah,
that had to hurt.
Oh yeah. And instead, Miz got blasted in the face with the dripstick. So
got it all over him. It soaked his pants. Omas versus Riddle. Riddle had a chance, but really Omas went over, and I like this booking. I like making Omas continue to look strong.
Yes, just builds much more the return of the Viper. We
heard what Kevin Nash had to say about Omas. He says, "Yeah, that kid's the real deal."
Well, I'm glad he's expanded from his initial role as one of the ninjas for Akira Tozawa, which, by the way, we got to see Akira Tozawa last night as well.
We did, yeah.
Is that next?
No, next is NXT champion Karrion Kross versus Keith Lee. Again, 50-50 booking that I enjoyed. I have a problem with it, and I enjoyed it at the same time. If they would have brought Keith Lee out again to lose to Karrion Kross again, you might as well just send Keith packing. Might as well just send him home. I mean, what would be the point? Keith Lee would have victory over Karrion Kross. However, we've seen Karrion Kross pinned twice now in 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Why? Karrion Kross doesn't look invincible to me anymore.
I'm still trying to figure out how or why, they haven't really done this with any other NXT champions. Am I wrong that they're really getting...
Well, Kevin Owens came out as NXT champion a few times. As a matter of fact, he answered the John Cena Challenge Open Invitational as NXT champion.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I guess as of late, I'm still
not recently,
really sure what the end game to this is, other than Karrion Kross, an early introduction of him getting bumped up to Raw, but obviously he's still NXT champion. And I will say I am glad that they did touch on the history a bit last night regarding Keith Lee and Karrion Kross. It made me think back to that whole speaking of Metallica again, the whole frantic piece that they did.
Tick, 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 tock, frantic, tick, tick.
Yeah,
that is the album everybody hates, and I don't mind it.
Yeah, same.
I mean, Some Kind of Monster, Frantic. What was the first one? It's playing in my head right now. Yeah,
Until the End? No. Wait, wrong album. Okay, sorry. Back to Raw.
Saint Anger. This is a title track. Why didn't we think of that? But like I said, it's not a bad album. It's just very tinny. It sounded like it was made in a garage with the wrong settings. That's why it was a little funny. But we digress. Karrion Kross pinned again. He was pinned by Jeff Hardy and now Keith Lee. He's 1-2 on Raw. And again, he doesn't look invincible. And he's supposed to be looking like a monster going up against Samoa Joe and NXT TakeOver the day after SummerSlam.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got this feud again with Keith Lee on Raw, too. At least, like you said, 50-50 booking. And I'm glad that, again, they reintroduce the history between the two of them. But then if he's got this big thing with Samoa Joe, it's kind of like, what's the connection here?
Yeah.
Where's it leading to, I guess, is
and we don't know. You wanted to talk about it. Here it is. The WWE 24/7 champion, Reggie. And remember, we talked about his network exclusive promo. Well, it aired last night on Raw. And Reggie's just a guy that took advantage of his situation. I'm Reggie, man. I've always wanted to be a wrestler. Okay, Reggie, come out. I have a question, though. And I'm not saying I hate it, love it. I'm indifferent. Why, when Reggie's the champion, all of his matches are now sanctioned matches with a belt?
Yeah.
Did they forget about the 24/7 rules?
I mean, they could still do both.
Did anybody run out after the match?
No.
Okay, so, and I don't have a problem with him holding the 24/7 championship and using it to elevate himself. I like Reggie.
I do too, and it is interesting you bring that up because we haven't seen a singles match with Akira Tozawa coming out. He has music.
Hey, right. He's got a Titantron and everything.
Yeah. And that was an entertaining match between the two of them, I must say, as well. I guess it's just a way for us to
maybe they're just updating his Titantron for when WWE 2K22 comes out.
Yes, that too.
Main event. It was no holds barred. It was Raw Women's Champion Nikki ASH and Charlotte Flair. Charlotte put Nikki through the announce table and came in 2 to 3 minutes later with a very arrogant pin. Got nothing. Nikki dodges the spear. Charlotte takes a full-on table in the corner. She gets her move on her off the middle rope and gets the 1-2-3. Nikki defeats Charlotte.
Yeah, that was a pay-per-view worthy match, I must say.
It was.
I did truly enjoy that.
I initially didn't want that to be the main event, thinking this isn't a main event. They blew me away. Me away. That was a main event.
Absolutely. The way Raw ended was, between the two of them, much better than last week. And I think this was the first time we got to see more rough and tough side of Nikki Ash. It was more reminiscent to the Nikki Cross of the past. And I feel like she was really feeling, man, I mean, she got speared through the barricade and then the table. And yeah, but even with Charlotte, I mean, this has gotten me much more excited for the SummerSlam match.
Which you saw a taste of last Saturday at the Fiserv.
Yes, that too. But can we make it a no-holds-barred match at SummerSlam as well between the three of them?
Maybe, because, again, I love watching Rhea and Charlotte beat on each other.
Yeah. And then, then last night, too. That was amazing. I'm a bit more into the whole Nikki Ash thing just after seeing that match, to be honest with you.
I love both of them. And I love Nikki, too. Nikki's, she's in my wheelhouse. I like Nikki. But watching Rhea and Charlotte go at each other, I mean, what did it got to be, 6 foot, 6'1"? I mean, they're big women. And just watching them go. Nikki's going to have some great spots in that match, too. I'm excited for SummerSlam.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that has been Tuesday morning, August 3rd, 2021. We are going to be talking to our Mott's tomorrow, our Matthew on the street, who's going to be doing, he doesn't know this yet. I hope he's listening. He's going to be doing live reporting from SummerSlam. He's going to be talking to people on the street. So
I had live from Las Vegas, too. Oh,
he'll be live from Las Vegas. You know where I'm going to want him to take the people on the street. I want him right in Vegas. I want him on the strip. I want him talking to the people with those little promo cards. I want to see what's going on.
Yeah.
We got to get one of those headband cameras on his head, like a GoPro.
It would be better, though, just as I was in Vegas just under a year ago, and going to Fremont Street, I think you'll get some better interviews there. So, Matthew Thomas, our Mott's, if you don't get the interviews and sound bites from Las Vegas Boulevard, please get it.
We need to get him a GoPro or at least, a microphone on his chest, and he's going to be our Mott's. We got the Mott's.
Ooh,
Matthew on the street.
he can be mic'd up with a GoPro on his head for the zip lining. It's called Slotzilla, and that is down across all of Fremont Street. And I know about this, Meathead, because I did it.
Wow.
I gotta show you the pictures I have from there, because it'd be tremendous. And if Matthew can get an interview with the person,
I want him to do an interview while he's ziplining.
Yes, you can. You can do 4 people in a row.
Wow. Okay. Happen. Yeah. We're gonna. Well, Matthew, I hope you weren't listening, because I can't wait to surprise you. But tomorrow morning, we've got some stuff for you. So for Linda Kay, I'm the man they call Meathead. Hey, thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning. So long, everyone.